Last year in 2020, Oculus discontinued the Quest 1 VR headset, the standard, the original, the successor, which brought us the Oculus Quest 2, which retails for a starting price of $299 and can cost $100 more if you need additional storage, so $399. Well, with the discontinue of the original Oculus Quest, Oculus brought it back, but there's a catch. It is refurbished, but it's selling for a much more affordable, reasonable price, and still has the same integration and hardware. Well, similar hardware, I should say. And on Oculus Quest website, you can pick up the refurbished Quest 1 for just $199. Unfortunately, the 64GB option is the only one that's available, but for $100 less than the latest generation Quest 2, it could actually be an incredible deal. Keep in mind, the hand tracking features, the pass-through mode, the ability to surf the web in VR. In addition to that, this is also a awesome dual purpose VR headset, as it still has the full capabilities to be used as a PC VR headset. And so I went ahead and got one of these refurbished models, and comparing the original box to the new refurbished, it still is using the original package that the Quest 1 originally shipped with. Just on the top, noted, it does say refurbished, and unfortunately, now it's required for you to have a Facebook account, just like the Quest 2, to set it up. So yes, it looks like you do need a Facebook account to set up your Quest VR headset. But no biggie, if you already use Facebook. Feel free to talk among yourselves in the comment section if you think it's a good thing or a bad thing. For me, this is okay. I have a Facebook, I have every social media platform known to man. I don't always use them all, I just happen to have an account with them. Doesn't mean I have to be on Facebook 24/7. But that's just another subject I really don't care about. I just want to focus on this VR headset and see what does the refurbished Oculus Quest 1 has to offer and how does it look like. Now, in the website, they state that pretty much everything that is included in the original Quest 1 VR headset is included in the package. So you still have the same power cable, the same spacer, and everything else that the Quest 1 originally shipped with. And they state that all refurbished Oculus Quest products are inspected, cleaned, and tested, as well as they look brand new. Let's go ahead and test that out. So again, the box is a 1-to-1 copy. Just on top, they just highlight refurbished. In the back, everything's identical as well. And there's little peeling things right here on the side. So you simply just peel, and there you go. And once you do that, you simply just remove it, slide off the box, and to my surprise, the unboxing experience is exactly as if this thing was brand new, non-refurbished. So unlike the Quest 2, the original Quest headset came with this retractable, easy to slide, easy to adapt on your head design. So still is using the same Velcro design, which is great because it's easy to adjust to anybody's head. Upon further inspections, I was actually genuinely surprised it had the original cover still for a refurbished product, including the warnings of do not expose this to any UV sunlight, as well as do not clean these lenses with any type of liquids. And to my surprise, also, there is no signs of fingerprints, scratches whatsoever on these lenses. This is literally a brand new lens, which is great. Of course, you have the old school original slider down here, as well as the volume rockers, which I'll go more in depth in specs in a little bit. The facial padding was 100% brand new as well, which I'm not complaining. This is great for a refurbished product. And inspecting the controllers, these are surprisingly brand new as well. Every single button works just as fine. They're not sticky or anything like that. And there's no cracks around the ring, which is a common issue about the Oculus Quest 1. It even has the original right and left sticker, and the strap that goes around your wrist looks brand new. Same exact thing can be said about the left Oculus Quest controller. Inspecting the final box, this is where you can find the power cable and the power brick, as well as the user manual and everything. Again, this all looks brand new. And don't forget, you also have the spacer, which is what's used if you wear glasses while playing VR. And the cable itself had the same peelable seal that you have to remove to unwrap it. So it's cool that they do give you the lengthy cable. Unlike what's included with the Oculus Quest 2, they give you a much shorter cable. This cable can still be used for Oculus Link nowadays, thanks to the latest firmware updates. But here, you can find the batteries, which is included for the controller, as well as the user manual and such. Again, this entire package is exactly the same like you expect to find when you open up the brand new Quest 2 box for the first time. So for a refurbished unit, this is actually really, this is brand new basically. So for $199, what are the limitations? What are the pros and cons when you compare it against the brand new Quest 2? Well, here it is. Unlike the Quest 2, the original Quest 1 is still using an OLED display. So in other words, just like our smartphones, the dark pixels are going to be turned off completely, giving you a natural dark. Unlike the LCD screen, will give you a gray effect. But upon my gameplay experience, this never once was an issue because I never really played any games that were that dark. The only times I find this extremely beneficial is when you boot the VR headset for the first time. That Oculus logo just looks amazing because everything is turned off except for the logo, and also when you navigate through the menu. But that's about it. Frame rate is 32 gigahertz. Unlike the Quest 2, the Quest 2 can go up to 120, and more games are now becoming supported. But while playing casual games, the frame rate on the Quest 1 is just perfectly fine. It will still allow you to have a good VR experience, as the controller tracking works extremely well, and the shortcuts, just like on the Quest 2, works 100% identical on the Quest 1. So you can still toggle pass-through mode by tapping either the left or the right side to enable the camera so you can see your surrounding without having to take off the headset. And in terms of warranty concerns or return policy, Oculus, of course, they offer a 30-day guarantee return if you're not satisfied. And after looking at their warranty coverage, they don't mention this on their website, but looking at the booklet that they include, it's 6 months standard manufacturer warranty. Not 1 year, but 6 months. I guess that's alright, better than 60 days. It does also have a built-in microphone, just like the Quest 2, which means you could talk to players in-game without having an external microphone. But there are 2 aux cables. Unlike the Quest 1, it only has 1. The Quest 2 has 2 aux cables, and you can purchase these adapters that go on the side of the VR headset. Well, they're not really adapters, it's just earbuds that are specifically designed for this without having a cable wrapping around the VR headset like I do with the Quest 2. But it does have external speakers that are right beside your ear right here. You can see the grill. The speaker quality, it's okay. The Quest 2, I still think it's better. It's more enhanced. The Quest 1, the speakers, I'll compare these against like a modern day smartphone speaker, which isn't bad. Still will get the job done to get the full VR immersion. Other big major things to also take in consideration is the IPD slider. On the Quest 1, believe it or not, has more options that you can actually fine tweak between the certain line, which you can see right here on the screen. You could go from here to there. Now the Quest 2 unfortunately only has 3 settings. Setting 1 can only go to 58mm, setting 2, 63, and setting 3, 68. If you're unaware what's your IPD measurement, you can always download this third-party app on your smartphone, which will utilize Face ID hardware, so you can find the exact measurement so you have a better understanding which VR headset is perfect for you for the best clear visibility. Now, in terms of feature, the operating system, both of these VR headsets offer the same exact thing. So you could enable, once again, hand tracking if you want to navigate your menu by just using your hands by utilizing the external speakers. Both of these machines do an excellent job in tracking your fingers, which is quite incredible to this very day. And then, unlike other VR headsets available in the market, the Quest 2 and the Quest 1, in my opinion, are the best PC VR headsets available, as they could do so much more than just being a standalone VR headset. You could easily plug this into your PC, play your favorite VR games on both of these machines, and still experience the same exact VR experience like you would like those other very expensive ones that can only do PC VR. Because the Oculus Quest 1 and 2 both have a USB-C port right here that not only allows it to be charged, but you can also transfer data, and that's how Oculus Link works. But you can also do it via Wi-Fi as well, especially if you download third-party apps like Virtual Desktop, which eliminates the need of any cable because it just runs on strictly Wi-Fi. So you can actually connect via Wi-Fi and play your Steam VR games with your Oculus Quest without having a cable tethered to your machine, so you can utilize that horsepower that your desktop machine has. Just the only thing you got to take in consideration, the resolution is slightly lower on the Quest 1 than it is on the Quest 2, as the resolution on the Oculus Quest 2 is 1832 by 1920, meanwhile the Quest 1 is 1440 by 1600. But either or, I'm still able to enjoy my games just fine. But if you ever have the chance to search on YouTube, like the resolution between the Oculus Quest 1 and the Oculus Quest 2, you can find multiple different video comparisons, and they always conclude the exact same thing. Like this user, as a fine example, he documented this really well, and here you can clearly tell that the pixel quality, the resolution overall does look a lot better on the Quest 2, and this is a big major factor whenever you're reading text in a video game. But when you're up close and personal, which most games are, usually when you have to read important text, game developers typically will make text to be easily visible, especially if it's something important. So there's really no need to be able to read something from a far distance in the game to really experience a positive gameplay experience when playing VR. Other important things to take in consideration is that yes, the Quest 1 was using an outdated processor, as it was using a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835, which when compared against what the Oculus Quest 2 has, which is Qualcomm Snapdragon TM XR2, graphs clearly show that it outperforms it no matter what. And from my personal experience, I have noticed that games do load slightly faster on the Quest 2, but once the game has fully loaded, there really isn't any lagging or stuttering issues in terms of its overall graphics. Graphics are both doable on both VR headsets. Just the only time where I have noticed a huge benefit from having the latest processor on the Quest 2 is when it comes to multitasking, as the Quest 2 does have 6 GB of internal RAM, while the Quest 1 only has 4 GB of RAM. The extra RAM really does come useful, especially when you're trying to screen record or cast something on the TV, which both VR headsets support. You could cast whatever you're viewing on the application on your smartphone or tablet, or the big screen television if you want other people to see what you're seeing in VR. But usually when I'm screen recording or capturing footage on the Quest 1, usually it starts stuttering or having issues catching up with the graphics in the game. The Oculus Quest 2 doesn't experience this because the extra 2 GB of RAM really does come in handy if you're multitasking like this. So for content creating, I will highly recommend going with the Quest 2, as that RAM will definitely come in handy, especially when you're streaming. And this is coming from a personal experience. Now, battery life. These two VR headsets can easily achieve 2 hours of battery life, as this never once was an issue, as you could always just plug it in with the really large, long USB-C cable and plug and play and still play your VR games, even if you're low on batteries. But 2 hours is plenty enough juice, especially if you're playing a physical VR game. Just the Quest 1 is slightly heavier, as it weighs 251 grams. The extra weight is noticeable, especially on the front, as this VR headset is slightly front heavier than the Quest 1. But really, you'll only notice it if you're playing over an hour and a half, which typically that's the time period where you want to charge this thing. But there is methods online you can find where people literally strap battery packs in the back or a tape measure to counterbalance that front heavy issue. Meanwhile, the Quest 2 is slightly lighter at 503 grams. But the Quest 2, honestly, out of the box, this strap that originally comes equipped with is very uncomfortable. I strongly recommend picking up the Elite strap. And from my personal experience, after using both of these VR headsets for numerous of hours, the original strap that's equipped on the Quest 1 is still a lot better. But if you want to swap it out, there's multiple guides on YouTube and all over the internet where you can swap this with something else. Other than that, build quality for a refurbished model, literally this is more like brand new. There's no marks, there's no dings, there's no scratches. It's a brand new unit, honestly. Maybe the internals is the only thing that's refurbished. But I do wish that 128 gigs was the standard, not the 64 for the refurbished models, because this is the storage availability that I have right now on both of my 64 gigs Oculus VR headsets. Meanwhile, my 200 gig unit, this is its storage availability. All the new Oculus Quest games are really taking up a lot of storage nowadays. But if you primarily want to use this VR for your PC, this is an excellent value, especially when you take into consideration you don't need to use the storage in the VR headset, as you can store everything in your PC in terms of just PC VR gaming. Overall, I mean, if you're on a tight budget and you want to play some VR Quest games or have a dedicated PC VR headset, this isn't a bad option. Again, to this very day, the hardware, the technology, the external sensors, the cameras, and all that good stuff, it still is very relevant. So for $100 less, this isn't a bad deal, especially if you have kids and you really don't trust them with expensive hardware just yet. You could just pick this thing up, as literally it looks brand new out of the box. Refurbished or not, this doesn't really feel like it was used at all. this is still a very incredible piece of hardware. And I know a couple of my friends that actually own the original Quest 1, they're perfectly fine with their VR headset. They really don't have many reasons to really upgrade to the latest Quest 2. But if you're not on that type budget and you just want to go all out, for $100 more, if this was my personal device, I would just pick up the Quest 2, if possible. But again, that 64GB storage capacity is still very low. I wish the refurbished model was at least 128GB. That would have been awesome. Other than that, that's the quick overview of the Oculus Quest 1 original refurbished model that you can purchase right now on Oculus website. If you got some good useful information out of this video, greatly appreciate if you could actually leave this video a like. But not only that, go ahead and get subscribed, as I pretty much cover a bunch of tech videos very similar to this. If you're curious where you could quickly go ahead and find this product on the Oculus website, I'll be sure to have the link in the video description down below. But if you're curious on what type of accessories I have on my Oculus Quest that I still use to this very day, feel free to go ahead and watch this video over here as I go through my favorite accessories that I used on my Oculus Quest 1, and I still use it on my Quest 2, so those accessories are still very relevant. And in that video over there, that's just a video that YouTube is recommending specifically for you. Thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.